Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, hi, and I really appreciate you clicking on this video. So today's video is a Disneyland Paris tips and hacks one. This has been highly requested on my Snapchat and Instagram since I have went to Disneyland Paris, so I said I need to sit down and record this video. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself first before I jump straight into the video. If you are new, my name is Lisa. I do beauty, mammy, lifestyle videos here on YouTube, and I am going to try to become a little bit more consistent with my video uploads. My laptop is out, sorry, there's a couple of things that went wrong, so I've been offline for a little while. Now I am very active on my Snapchat and Instagram, which I will leave linked down below. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so I recently went to Disneyland Paris. I think it was about 5 weeks ago now. Like, my heart is still broke to think that I am home. It was the most amazing trip I have ever done. It was our first family holiday. It was our first time being in Disneyland, my first time being in Paris, and it was just amazing. We went for 5 days and 6 nights. We did a meal plan. We went half board standard. I'll explain a little bit more about that later. We stayed in the Santa Fe hotel. If I'm honest, the hotel was amazing for us. It was simply just a place for us to put our heads down. I am not one of these people that will like go through the hotel with a fine tooth comb. It had everything we needed. We were a family. We went 2 adults, 2 kids. Dylan was 2.5, well, he still is. Kylan was celebrating his birthday over there, so he was 4 turning 5, and everything we needed. The food in the hotel was amazing. It was a buffet style hotel, or buffet style breakfast and dinner, which suited us down to the ground with our meal plan vouchers. However, we could eat our dinner / lunch, whatever we chose to use them for, in a couple of different designated hotels and different other eateries as well. So I did vlog our trip to Disneyland Paris, so if you would like to see what we got up to, what characters we met, all of that kind of stuff, I'm going to leave that video link down below. But I have compiled all my favourite tips and hacks that I have for you, and there's a lot, like there's a lot of tips here. So I would recommend you get yourself a cup of tea, get yourself a piece of pen and paper, open up your notes app on your phone, whatever you gotta do, because you are going to be getting some very useful tips from this video. Okay, so I tried to break these tips up in a way, in an order that makes sense. So the first one I have is kind of planning, extra magic hours, and just being smart. Okay, so planning. Let's be real for a second. We were a family. We also went with Lee's mum and his niece as well. So it was really hard for us to like pinpoint exactly what we're doing. Plus, in Disney, unexpected things happen. Like, you're going to pass a character you want to see, or there's going to be a ride that has like a 5-minute wait time, so you're going to hop on that, and things are going to get rejigged. But my biggest tip would be to go to Disneyland with a rough itinerary of what you want to do. So what I found most helpful was the DLP guide. They have, I think it's updated weekly, but they show everything on the website, like what shows are on at that particular time that you're going, the show times, so what characters are around the parks, where to meet them, what time, the rides that are down, because unfortunately, depending on the time of year that you go, there may be some shows that aren't on. There's a lot of shows that are seasonal. Like, we just missed Mickey and the Magician, which I heard is absolutely amazing, so I'm really gutted that that show was not on when we went there. So we missed that, but there was other things on obviously when we were there, but it is really important to be aware that sometimes rides are not open. Like, Phantom Manor was closed when we were there, that was down for refurbishment. But what I thought was really cool was on the website, they really kept into the theme of it all, and they said something fishy was going on, so they had to close the ride and send in an investigator look into what's going on the ride. So I thought that was a really cool little fun thing on the website. That's a little side note. I get very easily distracted. It is important to be aware of what's on, so definitely check that website out about a week before you head. You can check all that out, and on those guides it will tell you what characters are in what parks, what time they're going to be there till, all that stuff. Also, another thing to kind of note when you're planning for character meet and greets and rides that you want to go on is use extra magic hours. If you are staying in a Disney hotel, you will avail of something called extra magic hours. And where is mine? I had mine there. Okay, so you will get something called your Hotel Easy Pass. So what this will do is it will allow you to get into the parks an hour, I think it's an hour and a half. It was an hour and a half when we went there in January. An hour and a half before the park actually opened, and you got to go in. Now, not everything is open, but I know things like the Princess Pavilion is. So if that's something that you really want to do, you can cut your wait time down a little by heading straight for those kind of things. We did Peter Pan. Peter Pan ride was Kylan's favourite ride, and he had seen it on YouTube, and that was the main one that he really wanted to go on. And when we arrived in the park on the first day, we seen it, and it was a wait time of over 65 minutes, which is insane. When you have two young kids, it's just impossible to queue that long with them. So we said we would do it the following morning for extra magic hours. We did there, we got there, it was less than a 5-minute wait. I think we actually walked straight on the first day. And we did Buzz Lightyear, that's on extra magic hours as well. So all the rides and characters and all that kind of stuff that you can do on extra magic hours are listed on the DLP guide online as well, so definitely go and check that out. Okay, so next up I have compiled a little list of all the things that I would deem necessary to pack with you to bring on your Disney holiday. So some of these will be for kids, and some of these, I suppose you could use these either or, to be honest, and some of these will be for just yourself if you're going. So whether you're doing a solo trip, or you're traveling with kids, or you're traveling with your partner, or whoever it is, take note. So we went in January. We were terrified of weather. I mean, I was told the weather over there is so severely cold. Now, don't get me wrong, we had 4 seasons of weather when we got there. It rained, it snowed, it was sunny, it was cold, it was hot, it was all over the place. But if you're going in the winter months, I would definitely recommend that you take thermal clothing, so thermal underwear, leggings, tops, you name it. I had it all for the kids, and I'm kind of glad I did, because on the colder days they were definitely needed. The next thing, and probably the most important thing, is to bring a really comfortable pair of shoes. So I had a really comfortable pair of runners, and I think it came to like day 3 and my feet were cut to bits. There was skin peeling, there was blood. It was horrible. So I was mindful of that. We were going to be doing a lot of walking, so I did pack plasters and a little mini first aid kit. So that's very important, especially if you're traveling with kids, just to have a little first aid kit like that to hand. And it was also really handy to have like Calpol, paracetamol, all that kind of stuff for headaches, aches and pains. You know, like the last thing you want when you're away on holidays is your kid running high temperature, or for them to feel aches and pains and you just don't have anything on hand. So it's really important to have them with you. But I would recommend, instead of plasters, to bring the Compeed blister patches. They will be coming with me if I go to Disney, not if, when I go to Disney again. My feet were just in bits and the plasters just didn't suffice. I was like piling like 7 or 8, no exaggeration, like plasters on each foot right by my heel where like the friction was happening. So that was really bad. The next thing I have written down is a foldable blanket. But of course all blankets are foldable, I know that. But what I mean is a really compact blanket, so that if the kids are cold or you get cold, you can just throw it around you. It's really handy as well if you are going to watch things like illuminations, like the fireworks. If it's cold, you can throw the blanket around you, or if you're going to watch the parade, you can put the blanket down on the ground and you can use that to sit on as well. So that would be another thing I would recommend bringing with you when you are packing for Disney. Another thing that I deemed invaluable when we went is a lanyard, and now ours kind of broke. Now it still works, but ours kind of broke on our trip. So a lanyard and an ID card thing, but this one is actually to protect your phone, and Lee's mom had ordered 2 of these off eBay, so I got a loan of one of hers. I also ordered this Minnie Mouse lanyard off AliExpress. Of course, you can buy these kind of ID tags and lanyards over in Disney, but they can cost, so if you're trying to keep costs down, order these before you go. Honestly guys, these are invaluable. There's so much paper that you have to carry around with you, but you will have things like your park passes. These will also be used for fast passes, which I'll talk about later. We had our easy pass with us, we had all our meal plan vouchers, and I was carrying meal plan vouchers for 4 people as well, so that's something to be mindful of if you're a family. So something big like this that you have around your neck, that's very accessible. You're not reaching in and out of bags, you're not worrying about losing things in pockets. It's on your neck constantly. It did the job. I would not go to Disneyland without that again. Another thing, a backpack. It's really handy. You can just put it on your back. When I was sick of carrying mine, I could just throw it onto the stroller, but it's handy to have things like your water bottle, your snack packs, all that kind of stuff we kept in our backpack. A camera, water bottles. There is fountains around the park that you can fill your water up. We also, another important thing to bring with you if you have kids. Now, I didn't give juice to my kids all day every day, but they do get sick of water, let's be honest. Not all kids drink water. So what we brought with us is the Robinsons squeezable, I don't know what they're actually called, but they're just little small things like this, and they're full of concentrated Robinson's juice, and you can just squeeze it into your water, and then you have dilutes. That was really handy for water bottles and Dylan's bottle, and that kind of kept the cost down, because drinks over in Disneyland are expensive. I think it's about €6, €5, €6 for a bottle of Coke. So yeah, that kept the snack and juice thing down a little. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is fast passes, and I'm going to run through this really quickly because it's really simple. When you arrive to Disney, where did I put mine? Okay, so when you arrive to Disney, you will receive your park pass, and with this is going to be how you get in and out of the parks, but it'll also entitle you to get fast passes. And what they do is there are certain rides in Disneyland that will have a fast pass on them. So if there is a 60-minute wait queue, you can go around the corner of most of the rides. There's these little ticket machines, and you just walk straight up to the machine. They scan in your ticket, and out will pop a little fast pass ticket. I don't have any because we used whatever ones we had over there. So out will pop a little fast pass ticket, and it will give you a time. So it might give you like 3:30 to 4, and in between 3:30 and 4 you can walk straight up to the fast pass gate and you won't have to queue. Okay, so another thing to note about fast passes is that they are completely free, so it just makes sense to take advantage of that service that is there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is meal plans. Now, there is a lot to meal plans. There's a lot of different options that you can go with. So if you'd like me to go into a little bit more detail about the meal plan that we chose and other meal plans that are available, if you would like me to do a separate video on this, then just comment down below, let me know down below, and I can definitely go into more detail about it. But for now, I'm just going to talk about the meal plan that we were on. We did meal plan, it was half board standard, and with that we got our breakfast vouchers and we got a dinner or lunch voucher, so we could use it on whatever we wanted to use it basically, so either lunch or dinner. The only thing with your meal plan vouchers is that you have to kind of book in advance. The only thing that I would do better next time round is kind of plan our meals a little bit better. We decided we would just go with the flow. So if we were running a little late, we would just ring back to the hotel. We would book in with our own hotel. They were serving food up until 11 in the Santa Fe, so if we were coming late back from the parks, if we had seen illuminations, whatever it was, we could just make reservations in our hotel. But there is definitely a couple of places I didn't get to eat this time around that I would love to check out next time. We didn't get to eat in the Rainforest Cafe, we didn't get to eat in Restaurant de Stars. Plaza Gardens was another one that I wanted to go to, we didn't get a chance to eat in. The places we did get to go and that I would definitely recommend going, and where I definitely recommend going, is Planet Hollywood was really nice. We don't have one of those here in Ireland, so it was like a massive novelty for us. The Santa Fe was really nice. It was Mexican themed, but we loved the freedom that you had with a buffet. So if we're going back to Disneyland again, I would definitely focus all of our meals around buffet style restaurants. It was just handy for the kids. They could go up and down as they wanted. If they didn't enjoy one thing, they could go up and get another. It allowed us that freedom, and I think with kids it's what you need. Of course, it's great to go in and treat yourselves and sit down and have like a set plan dinner, but that doesn't always work. And if you're going to be eating out all of your meals, realistically, buffet styles are just the way to go with kids. So we went into the Cheyenne for dinner as well. We really like the Cheyenne Hotel, so we're definitely going to look into the Cheyenne next time we book with Disney. We just loved the theming of the hotel, and that kind of brings me on to my next tip. Don't worry too much about how many stars each hotel has. We did a little nose in a lot of the hotels, and like for us, we would go by theming. So the boys were really into cars this year, so it just made sense for us to book Santa Fe. Dylan has this crazy obsession with Toy Story, and I am a massive Toy Story fan myself, so I would love to go to the Cheyenne. I know that was recently refurbished, and as far as I know, the New York hotel is going to be completely refurbished, and it's going to be Marvel themed superhero. So definitely when that gets refurbished down the line and we book another holiday, we would definitely look into staying there as well, because both of our boys are massive superhero fans. We found the Santa Fe amazing. The staff there was very friendly. We couldn't fault them. When we did trips outside of Disneyland, they organised private transfers, and they organised them to collect us, and everything was done right there at our concierge, and it was just really easy to do. I could not fault Santa Fe Hotel. The rooms were amazing, the staff was very friendly, as I said, the food is great. Book by theming, and if you don't have a certain theme that you're really fussed about, I guess, I don't know, book what is good for you. But we went by theming, and I think we will continue to do this, especially when the kids are young anyway. Okay, so this is a big one, and it is a tip that I haven't actually seen on any other tips and hacks videos when I was researching for my own holiday, and it is meet and greets. When we were there, we picked up these tips as we went along each day. We didn't know this going over, and it is something that we wish we knew when we had started our trip. However, this is what we're going to be doing for meet and greets from now on. Okay, so if you've stayed in Disney before, you will know that there is meet and greets in your hotel every morning. I think it's between, let's say, 8 and 11-ish. Hotels may differ, but in the Santa Fe, I think it was like 8:15 to 11:15. Each morning there'd be a different character, and each hotel kind of has 3 or 4 main characters that would kind of be typical to that hotel. So for ours, I think it was Pluto, Goofy, Mickey, and no, I think that would be it. They'd be the 3 main characters that you would meet at the Santa Fe. Now obviously Minnie would pop up the odd time, Mickey would pop up the odd time, but those would be the consistent characters, and the Cheyenne would be different, and blah 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 blah. So what we found really handy to meet characters, which would save you tons of time queuing in the parks, you can go to your neighbouring hotel and check out who is in there. So for example, Pluto was in our hotel and we had already met Pluto the day before. So we literally walked across the little bridge, across the river, straight into Cheyenne, into the Cheyenne lobby, and Mickey Mouse was there and we hadn't met Mickey Mouse yet. So we queued for 10 minutes to meet Mickey Mouse. We got proper pictures. Yeah, we met Mickey. And then on our way into Disney, in the Disneyland Hotel, that is where the really good characters are. So you're going to find Daisy, you're going to find Minnie, you're going to find Donald, like all the really, like I think all the main characters are in the Disneyland Hotel. But that particular day that we went from the Cheyenne, and we got the free shuttle bus into the parks, and then we went straight to the Disneyland Hotel. And in the Disneyland Hotel, as I said, Minnie was there, so we met Minnie, and it was really great. And we did the same the next day. We met all the different characters, so we kind of ticked off all the main Disney characters, like the main group of guys. So you have Donald, Daisy, Mickey, Goofy, Pluto, the whole lot. So we just found that was a really great way to meet characters. You don't have to be you don't have to be staying in a Disney hotel to go into the Disneyland Hotel. So that is a really big tip. So if you you have to walk under Disneyland Hotel to get into the parks anyway. So pop in, if you're heading in early, pop into the Disneyland Hotel, check out who's in there and do your meet and greets there. There is professional photographers, you can get them on your photo passes, and it just cuts waiting time down by tons in the park. Okay, so next up I'm going to talk about the must-do things that you should definitely look into doing when you are doing your trip. And the first one is Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. I honestly was blown away by the show. It's hard to put into words. It was amazing. It was like cowboy versus Indian. You had real life buffaloes, horses, Mickey and all the friends were there. There was a story. It was really interactive. So when you go, you get put onto a team, so you're either on the red, yellow, green, blue, whatever it was. We're on the red team, and you sit in accordance to what team you're on. We were sitting on the red team, and it was amazing. Each team has like a person who will stand with them and gets the crowd going, and you do chants by banging on the table and using your spoons and your forks. And it was great for the kids because they were able to get involved, and it didn't allow any slumps. So if the show was going on and kids can get bored easily, there was things going on in between. It was just amazing, and it turned it really interactive. It was a competition between each of the houses, and we just thoroughly enjoyed it. There was a pre-show, and if you watch my Disney vlog, as I said, I'll leave a link down below, you will see Dylan, like he's like tapping his feet and dancing away, like Goofy comes on. There's like a stage, and they have a little bit of entertainment while you're waiting to go into the show, and Goofy's there. What I will say about the Buffalo Bill's Wild West show is it can be expensive. So we were able to use our meal plan vouchers against the expense of the show, but including our standard meal plan vouchers, the trip still came up at €101 for us, so it was still a little bit expensive. However, you do get a 3-course meal, so you get starter, main course and dessert. The only thing about that is it's a set menu, so I know that the kids weren't really bothered about what they didn't really like the mains, and they didn't really like the starter either. They ate their desserts and stuff like that, but it was really Mexican themed. They just it wasn't their type of jam, so they weren't enjoying it, but they loved the show. So that's just something to be mindful of. So another thing to note about the show is it's on twice a night. It's on at 6:30 and 9:30. So we did the 6:30 show, and we went off peak time anyway, so the parks were kind of quiet. And there's 2 types of seating. So you have first tier and you have second tier, and first tier is obviously more expensive than second tier, and I think it was costing about €60 extra to sit front tier. So we were like, look, it's already costing us €101, we'll just stick with the second tier seating. which we did, but we were told if we arrive early, the better chance we have of getting better seats. So we arrived 40 minutes before showtime. So I think as soon as the parade was over, I think the parade started at 5:30. So as soon as the parade was over, we headed straight for Buffalo Bills, and we got there 40 minutes early. And because the front tier seats hadn't been filled, which to make the stadium look more full, they have to seat all the front tier seats first. Because all the frontier seats weren't bought, we actually got upgraded to frontier seats, so we were sitting we got front row seats to the show without having to pay the extra few bob. So that's just a little tip as well. If you do arrive early, there may be a slight chance, maybe, do not take my word for it, that you might get upgraded to first tier seating. Another must do is the Disney illuminations. So we didn't actually get to see illuminations, which is the big fireworks show, until the last night. And I have to say, I am so glad we left it till our last night to watch it. It was the last thing we seen in Disney, and it was overwhelmingly emotional. I'm a massive Disney fan anyway, so I just found the whole experience, I can't put into words. It's amazing. The videos and the clips, I've seen them all on YouTube before I went. They just don't do the show justice. It's being there and experiencing it, and everyone around you being in the moment. And it's the fireworks, it's the fire display, it's the water display, it's the whole animations up on the castle. The castle is all glittering. I mean, it is spectacular. It's definitely my biggest highlight from Disney, besides spending time with the family, obviously. It was just amazing, so definitely check that out. It's always on at park closing time, so when the park closes at 7, that's when illuminations will start. So just be mindful. You can see it on your guide anyway. You can pick them up, as I said, in the parks, or on the app you can check out what time the show starts or time your park closes, so you know when the show will start. The thing I want to share with you won't be for everybody, so this will only be for people who are celebrating birthdays over in Disney. Order a cake in any restaurant, it doesn't matter where. We did it at Planet Hollywood. It was an extra €35 for the cake, but it was the whole experience. Like, it was like a money cannot buy experience. I would have paid €50-60. It was amazing. The whole staff came out. They had a big massive cake. The cake itself would have fed about 10 people. It was insane. It was a huge cake, 10 to 15 people. They all came out and sang happy birthday. They put his name and like happy 5th birthday up on all the telly screens throughout the restaurant. Then they did like a live feed of the whole table, and they zoomed up on Kylan, and it was amazing. And every time I rewatch that footage in the vlog, I cry. It's just so emotional. You can see Kylan, like, he's just so overwhelmed because he's not expecting it at all, and it was just amazing. So like, if you have a child with you or any adult, I think it would be the most amazing gift ever to give to someone over in Disney. Another thing, and again this kind of ties into the birthday theming, if you are with a child who is celebrating their birthday in City Hall, now we weren't aware of this. We went over to City Hall to get the badges. The main Disney park, on your left hand side there's a building called City Hall, and I was aware of City Hall because I knew you could get little tags, like little badges for all the world, and you can get your name on them, or you could get something special, like if you're celebrating a birthday, or if it's your first trip, or if you're celebrating a wedding or anniversary, whatever it is, you can get it written on your badge. And these little badges will get you kind of noticed more by characters and cast members around the park. So we went over to get Kylan one for his birthday, because we're celebrating his birthday the last day that we were there. And when we said it, they were like, oh, hold on, is that the phone? And like, they made this whole spectacle of it, and they were like, they picked up the phone and they were like, yes, Mickey Mouse, he is here. And I just looked at Lena and I remember like, oh my god. And I again, like I must have cried like 50 times on this holiday, but I got so emotional. Here I am getting emotional again. But in City Hall they do free phone calls for Mickey Mouse to wish you a happy birthday, and I just thought that was the icing on the cake. There's nothing better, like what tops Mickey Mouse ringing you on the phone to wish you a happy birthday? Nothing. So that is again something to be mindful of. It was amazing. Like I said, it's still one of his highlights. Like if you ask Kylan what's one of his favorite memories from the holiday, he will say getting a phone call to wish him a happy birthday from Mickey Mouse, because it is so amazing. And the guys in City Hall were so lovely, and they really made kind of a fuss about him there as well. So the whole experience was just amazing. Okay, so another tip, and this would be mainly for people who are traveling with kids, and it's to bring snack packs. So I know a lot of people get really confused when they hear about snack packs. They're really simple. You can do them before you go, and it cuts out all that extra stupid spending on snacks, which I'm going to be honest, we kind of did because it was a novelty and it was our first holiday, but snacks are so expensive, we certainly could not afford to do it every day, all day. So the snack packs came in handy. I made 2 snack packs a day, so one for Kylan, one for Dylan. And I made 8 altogether because we were there. No, I made 10 altogether because we were there for a total of 5 days. In the snack packs I had crisps, chocolate, jellies. From breakfast I took fresh fruit, I took yogurts, I made up rolls from breakfast and I brought them with me too. In our hotel it was like it wasn't hot food, it was like cereals, rolls, like croissants, all that kind of stuff. So I just would grab fresh ones each morning and pop them into their snack pack bags. So when we were queuing for character meet and greets or rides or anything like that, or they just were feeling a bit peckish or a little bit whingy, you know how kids get, I would just give them their snack pack, or allow them to take 1 or 2 things out of their snack pack bag, and then they would also have their refillable bottles as well to keep them hydrated throughout the day. So I definitely recommend that you pack snack packs. Number 1 tip, honest to God, they were amazing, and we will definitely be doing it again if we're going to Disney. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed my tips and hacks video. If you did, please let me know down below and give this video a big thumbs up. Also, if you have any comments or hacks or anything yourself that you would like to share with me, let me know down below. Let's get a little thread going. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I guess I will talk to you in my next one. Bye guys!